man. It's what I'm saying. It's the same consistency. It's very airy and light, like a truffle would.
No, it's like regular milk chocolate
All right. I don't know
or
what
dark
I'm talking
chocolate.
about.
It's like a little ball filled. But yeah, whatever.
I hate when I have my truffle butter or my balls full of truffle butter. It's not.
That sucks.
Yeah.
That's horrible.
Well,
You poor guy.
You definitely need some wet wipes for that one.
You do.
Ooh.
You got to clean it up.
I actually have a towel for that.
Do you? Yeah,
'cause-
you got truffle butter towel?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That comes in handy.
The big
Definitely comes in handy.
the drummer extraordinaire Tim Cook is here. Tim, good to see you, my friend. How you
Haven't
doing?
seen Tim in a long time, and Tim, my friend, it is great to see you, buddy. It's been way too long.
I'm
You're
excited.
You're looking good.
I keep hearing
The
how
hair-
I have to hear this guy play, and
The
I
hair
just
is
wanna
looking nice. I like the hair. You're looking good, man.
And Tim's lost. I don't know if you noticed. Tim's lost quite a bit of weight.
He has.
Yeah, he's trimming down.
We were telling Caleb that he's in for quite a treat when he gets to hear you playing the drums, my friend. So
I'm looking
definitely
forward to it.
He's got his drum gloves on
Yeah.
over here. He's ready to go.
It's,
Yeah, absolutely.
it's a
dude.
Halloween
That's
costume.
right.
You might have to murder somebody or something.
Tim, get yourself a drink. Settle in.
You know,
It's good to
everything's
see
in the
you.
back there, Tim. You
We
know
were-
where everything's out. Beer's in the fridge back there. Oh, he's going to say. Tim's always polite. He'll say hi to the folks first, dude. Absolutely.
Well, that's what you should do. That's what you should do. Now, while we're talking about football, guys,
right.
a new offensive coordinator hired by the Detroit Lions
This is great.
with the greatest name in football history. The new
Hold on. Since I know the story, Joe, what do you think would be the best name ever for a
For an offensive coordinator.
for a coach in general? Let's just say a football coach.
Well, when I would say it would be something like Bob Grid.
You got the Bob part right.
That's terrible.
All right. Bob Gridiron, Grid.
Name's terrible.
Dude, I was on the spot, man.
Oh, you were close, but the new offensive coordinator, let me introduce you to Jim Bob Cooter.
Jim Bob Cooter.
Jim Bob Cooter, the new offensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions.
And the funny part about that is that he's got a CB instead of the headphone unit. He's like, Crazy Cooter coming at you. Hey, Bo Dukes is Shepherd of Lost Sheep. Shepherd of Lost Sheep. Crazy Cooter. Throw a pass. Audible.
You know the football, the sports media is going to have a field day with this. By the way, these guys just saw this story and said, "Yes, my job has gotten so much more fun."
They're already having a field day. Detroit Free Press with a headline that said "Phenomenal Cooter, too valuable for Lions to let go."
Absolutely, dude. I mean, you don't let a good Cooter go. That's for sure.
And
awesome.
you never forget a good Cooter. That's for sure.
A bad Cooter, though, you don't forget that either. Actually,
You don't. You try to forget it, though.
Yeah.
You definitely try to. Yeah. No one wants to. Actually, you know what? Thanks for bringing that up because now I'm remembering bad Cooters, Jim.
Hey, that's your own fault, Ben. Sorry, dude. That was you getting the bad Cooter.
Yeah, speaking of being reminded of things that you're trying to forget, Lenny Dykstra, the great Philadelphia Philly, the great New York Met, has been on record as saying that he used to spy on umpires and blackmail them for being gay or addicted to gambling.
Really?
Yeah, ex-MLB star Lenny Dykstra says he spent about $500,000 during his career to hire private investigators to spy on Major League Baseball umpires and use their secrets, like I said, including affairs and gay sex, as leverage to get calls during games. He spilled this on Colin Cowherd. He said he would essentially threaten to go public with the information he had.
Yeah, any gambling of an umpire.
And he said it gave him a much more favorable strike zone as a result.
Absolutely, it did. That's crazy. Is Selig still the?
He was back then. He was the
Who's
commissioner.
the
back then.
commissioner now?
No, it's Rob Manfred, right?
Oh, they changed
Yeah.
it. I knew that.
Yeah.
I knew he was
It was
on
a
his
couple
way
years
out.
ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's got to be loving this, dude. He's going to his grave, going, "Geez, what did I run, man?" It was basically, it's like the mob, dude. We got blackmail going on.
Is anybody surprised by this though?
No,
I think it's brilliant.
Yeah, actually, I'm
Oh,
surprised by this. I
I'm
actually am.
I think it's brilliant, quite frankly.
It didn't work out well for Lenny, though. I mean, all in all, he might have got a couple more hits, but didn't he end up in jail?
Did Dykstra go to jail?
I thought Lenny had a big problem with with drugs and
Well,
stuff.
didn't all the Mets have big problems with drugs? I mean,
Sure,
talk
but
about Doc Gooden was your best pitcher, and God knows he certainly liked going traveling on the slopes during the off season.
Oh, he enjoyed snowboarding for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Any kind of snow activity from what
Yes,
I
he did,
understand.
yeah. He was
even if snow angels, all of
Oh,
that
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, he was definitely a winner kind
You
of
know,
guy?
it's too bad that didn't happen in Anaheim. We could have called them the Snow Angels. That would have been.
He was
Perfect.
sentenced to 3 years back in 2012.
Told you he did some time. Yeah, I think that, and that was on like real estate stuff or something. Wasn't
Grand
it?
theft auto
Oh,
and
geez.
providing false financial statement.
Wow, Lenny's
Not even real estate.
not even like
No,
blue
it was a
collar.
lowbrow
He's
crime.
straight
yeah.
up, he's straight up blue collar crime there. All right.
But I mean, is that a worthy investment? The guy made millions of dollars a year. You got to figure if he's getting less strikes called against him, winds up getting more hits, winds up making more money on his batting average, on the amount of hits, the amount of home runs. If you spend $500,000, you wind up getting paid an extra, say, $1 million, $2 million a year.
Maybe more.
That's a hell of a good ROI. It's a good return
Well, the
on
500
investment.
grand was over his career. It wasn't
right,
1
right.
year.
So, that's a good ROI, right?
Yeah, would he probably spend 20 grand a year, 30 grand, maybe 50 grand a year?
Yeah, the way I look at it, because this was actually during the whole Billy Ball or Billy Bean Ball, Billy Ball, whatever the hell they call it, where they were actually looking more.
Jim Bob Cooter?
Yeah, exactly. But they were looking more about on base percentage. That was big. It wasn't so much about hits. It wasn't so much about your RBIs, but it was all about just on base. How often you get on base, and he probably bought himself at least 30 walks a year out of that. Probably.
It's funny because Lord Cheese actually texted me and said he thought he probably tripled his walks that year.
All right. Well, what did
And-
I say? Double.
And Lenny Dystra, not a big guy,
Right.
short in stature, already had a reduced strike zone to begin with.
Absolutely.
Right? I mean, let's face it, it's hard to pitch against those shorter guys. You played baseball for a number of years.
Yeah,
You
I was
get it.
very short. When I played I didn't really grow till after I was out of high school. I was in my 5-foot range underneath that, and it was really hard for people to pitch to me. They actually had to bring it to where I could hit it.
There you go.
Well,
I always thought that was kind of a weird rule of the strike zone in general, being that it's variable. And you see these guys, some of the guys will stand up and they squat way down and bend way over.
Pete Rose was incredible. He had this strike zone that literally should have been about 4 inches.
Yeah.
Or there's the old expression, you got to protect the strike zone, right? And then Joe and I have commented many times, even on the show, about the notion that umpires have different strike zones to the point where they have a guy that is referred to as shoebox.
Yeah, what's his name? Damn, I can't remember. Old guy. Anyway, yeah, definitely. I hate to say this because I am somewhat a purist in baseball, but I was a purist in baseball before they had the Fox strike zone thing up there. And it's really weird to watch your team play and see your guy get called out, and then they show the strike, the Fox tracker, and it's like 4 inches outside of the zone. I mean, it was easy to be like, oh, maybe the ump was right. I watched, I missed it, but why don't the umps have like a virtual reality Fox tracker in their helmet?
That's one of the things that I've kind of contemplated, and we've talked before about how I don't know if we talked about it on air and within football where they have the chains. Now they bring a finite, solid measurement out.
I know, it's ridiculous.
And it's all based on where the ref thought the ball was on each time. I mean, if you take the standard deviation of a couple inches each way, you end up with half a foot difference by the time you try to measure.
Yeah, different.
So, I always said they have the technology. They need to put sensors in each end of the ball, and they can tell exactly where the ball went. But I actually kind of like the fact that, because I thought the same thing you were saying, but I kind of like the fact that the umpires have their own distinct strike zone because it makes the game. It just adds another dynamic to the game.
No, but I think it's bullshit. I mean, you have a standardized strike zone. It's supposed to be,
but it's
between
not
the
standard.
knees. No, but it's supposed to be between the knees. It's from above the knee area, right?
Right at the knees.
But it's not a finite measurement for every person. It's different for every
it
person.
is for their size, but that already plays to their advantage if they're smaller, though, Caleb. I mean, the notion that it's going to be different in terms of inside and outside, that shouldn't occur.
But I don't know. I think it adds a little bit of dynamic to the fact where you have to know who you're pitching to, and you have to know who's calling the pitches as well. You're not just throwing a ball in the same spot every time.
Well, while we're
you
talking
really have
about
to add a little more dynamic to it.
While we're talking about measurement, the Reverend, the Lord Cheese, who listens to the show, he said that he heard you play with a small bat.
Wiffle ball. Usually, I would play with a smaller bat, but when it came to
the yellow one, not the red one.
No,
it was a wiffle ball. The red one, the real big.
You cut the top off, you stuff it with newspaper, you tape it back up, and hopefully you get a couple more dingers out of it.
Oh, there you go.
I was corking my bat, Lord Cheese, so it might not be the largest bat, but it was definitely hitting pretty hard.
It was girthy.
Yeah, it was.
You had a girthy bat.
Well, no, it just
It was
really
dense.
had.
It was very dense.
It had a solid pound to it. Yes, absolutely. You got to cork your bat.
Well,
okay.
Lastly, FIFA in the news. Okay, we talked many times about the FIFA scandal. The 12 different arrests that we've seen within the hierarchy of FIFA. Lastly, we just saw the second in command to FIFA, to Sepp Blatter, get arrested. Sepp Blatter, who has publicly announced that he will resign. They've rushed an election. They've decided that there will be an election sooner than his term. And allow me to introduce you guys to some of the names that are running for the FIFA presidency, guys. You couldn't make this up if you tried. The first guy running for FIFA, for the FIFA presidency, his name is Tokyo Sexwale.
Tokyo Sexwale.
Tokyo Sexwale.
I've been to that nightclub.
You've also got Jerome Champagne.
What?
You've got David Nakid, which kind of looks like naked, and Musa Belidi, and some other guys as well. But it's just
so you got
my
naked.
favorite. My personal favorite is Tokyo Sexwale. I'm going to vote for him. I don't know about you. I don't get a vote, but if I would get a vote, I would vote for Tokyo Sexwale.
What was the second one? I think I like that better. Champagne.
Jerome Champagne.
Well, you can't get Sexwale unless you go to the champagne room.
Look, you see the picture of Tokyo Sexwale?
No, I can't see.
Tokyo does not look like he's Tokyo.
No, he's got a distinct look. Here's Jerome Champagne.
No, he's out.
Oh my God,
is that Mr. Bean?
He does look like Mr. Bean. Yeah. So who's your? I'm putting my my bid in for Tokyo Sexwale.
I'm going David Champagne.
No, Jerome Champagne.
Yeah,
was it just the two?
No, actually,
no. And then you also have David Nakid.
Nah,
Mr. Naked.
Yeah, Mr. Naked. Yeah. You've got.
I'll go with Sexwale.
You got Sheikh Salman.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Prince Ali, Gianni Infantino, and then Musa Beliti.
Prince Ali. Yeah. Wasn't that from a Disney movie?
That sounds like your usual suspects right there, doesn't it? Dude, it's like, wow, they got rid of a bunch of people. Now they brought back in.
I don't know that any of those names sound any less corrupt. That's what my concern is.
Look, you don't run a professional league to make it legit. Dude. You don't go through all that trouble. You do it for the chicks, man.
Who's got the most money of the group? That's who's going to win.
Prince Ali. I would say Prince Ali.
Yeah, probably the Prince.
Yeah, he's going to win.
That's that was the love child
election
between Muhammad and Michael Jackson, right? Prince Ali, wasn't it? They shared a woman one night, I think. It was.
Guys, we're going to jump into a break. When we get back, I've got an update. Remember the cracker found?
Oh yeah,
from the Titanic.
Oh yeah.
Remember how it was going up for auction?
A lot of money.
Did it sell?
You won't believe it sold. You won't believe what it sold for.
Nice.
Human DNA found in hot dogs. This is a concern.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I like
we knew there were byproducts. We didn't know they were human. Who knew that you were a cannibal when you ate hot dogs?
The only DNA I want in Password loves hot dogs, but the only DNA I want in her hot dog is my hot dog.
Yeah, well,
so,
I mean,
just saying.
I know you're fond of the cream sauce on her hot dogs, but
is that
wait, you know what? We'll address that. We will address that. We will address that when we get back. So all you Craniacs, stay with us. If you're here local, get your tuchus up here. Come to the party. We'll be right back.
Hey, it's Harry Carey here. Have you lost a loved one? Perhaps a beloved pet? Well, I can get you in touch with Automelda and Little Bubbles. Then all you gotta do is call 1-800-ASK-HARRY, and I got you covered. Your deceased loved ones will be nothing more than a phone call away with Harry Carey's Liaisons to the Dead. Call me now at 1-800-ASK-HARRY. Here's Charlie from Toronto.
Harry Carey got me in touch with my Uncle Abe, and I found out he was the Sausage King of Chicago.
Then there's John from Salt Lake City.
My Mimo Agnes told me where to find a fortune she had hidden from a bank robbery she had done in the early 40s.
So call me now and get in touch with your loved ones at 1-800-ASK-HARRY. That's 1-800-ASK-HARRY.
All right, man. ESB Brewing commercial. Take one.
Hey, you want me to run bar for you? I am producer on great show at ESP on Friday, 7 to 9 p.m. o'clock, the Cranial Emission Show.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you mean the Cranial Emission Show.
Yes, that's what I said.
Okay. All right. Now, Sancho, we're going to run through this. We're going to get it right this time, okay?
Okay, yes.
Okay. Now, just read the copy I gave you just like they wrote it.
Yes.
Okay. ESP Brewing commercial.
Hello, I'm Sancho.
No, hey, like I said, when I say take two.
I did. You said take two.
Look,
Just read the few lines they wrote for you, okay? And only about ESB and their amazing beer.